There is nothing better for a man than that he should eat and drink, and that he should make his soul enjoy ta'ub in his labors. Thus also I saw that it was from the hand of Elohim. For who can eat, and who else can hasten hereunto more than I? For Elohim gives to a man that is ta'ub in his sight, wisdom and knowledge and joy. Shalom, Mishpaka. Shalom. Baruk Atah Yahuah, the Creator, the Giver of life, breath, truth, deliverance. Joyful dawning. It is a day that Yahuwah has made. May we rejoice and be glad in it. Hallelujah. Today, according to the calendar of creation, Yahuwah's Moedim is the 7th day, the Shabbat. It's a day of rest. It's a day for Qadash assembly. It's a day to be in His truth, to praise Him, to worship Him, to esteem Him. It actually never moved. Never has moved. The enemy has always tried to create confusion, shifting things around. The enemy's very crafty. And, part of the reason why times are confused is because of a curse, a fulfillment of a prophecy. The Creator told Noah that on the day that he perished from the earth, his sons would break the agreement and they would drink the blood. And the life is in the blood, and it's forbidden for us to drink the blood. That's why those who practice the dark arts do it so much. So they did, and everything became dislodged. Dislodged is like out of joint. I think that's the reason why. It's a test, because the Father seeks those who worship Him in spirit and in truth, and who believe Him even if they don't understand, even if they can't see it with their eyes, because this is flesh. And we must walk in the Ruach, so we must see in the Spirit. Baruk Yahuah. So this day is the 21st day of the 7th month, which, like I said, it's a Shabbat, but it's something else too. Something wonderful too today. Today is the 7th day of the feast of Saku, where we dwell in booths, tabernacles, tents. We sleep outside. It's like camping. Halal Yahuwah. Yeah, halal Yahuwah. So we have this day, we have the night, then we have one more day, the 8th day. There's no servile work. We already have no servile work on Shabbat as well. So there's 3 days during the Feast of Saku, which is 8 days long, where there's no servile work. Every single day we roast meat. We make an offering by fire to Yahuwah. The first day and the last day are Qadash assemblies, but the Shabbat is a Qadash assembly as well. So we have 3. Baruk Yahuah. Baruk Yahuah. I'm very aware of the times that we're in. I do believe that the fourth seal was opened. It actually ends up being 9 days ago. 9 days ago. When a certain leader from a certain land who thinks that he is the prize, that he is chosen, but while he steady breaks the will of the Most High all the time, he has feet that are swift to the shedding of blood. This is not the way. We don't start things. Okay? Our Father finishes things for us. Well, he came in front of the entire world, speaking on the tell lie vision, mocking and scoffing, while knowing that he had dispatched agents of unaliving, those that they seek to make war with are not what they claim they are. It's a type of projection. It's like a narcissist. It's a reprobate mind, where you accuse someone else of being what you are yourself, where you say that they did this to you and they did that to you, but it's not true. And you play on the sympathies and the heartstrings of the world so that you can justify your lust for the blood that we're commanded not to drink. Better make no mistake, they drink it still. It's part of their practice. It's what they do. And the scriptures are clear about this. They traffic in souls. So I was very much expecting, when I rose this dawn, to see the retaliatory, the now justified by the psyche of the world, by the masses, by the media, which is an illusionist, a female goddess, if you will. I was expecting to see it, but I haven't seen it yet. So now I'm waiting and I'm watching, and that's what we do. But we also search out the scriptures, looking for nuggets and treasures of truth that we can share with one another, because we sharpen each other. Iron sharpens iron. How many of us are just tired of the ways of this world, the things that it has to offer that do not actually satisfy? They do not actually fulfill. They always leave you hungry. They always leave you thirsty for more in your spirit. You know what I mean? What can you buy? What can you consume that can truly satisfy you? You know? You are a son or a daughter of creation, and you are meant to live a life fulfilled with shalom and with joy. To be sober-minded and have shalom is the real gift. The fool goes into a drunken stupor to hide the pain, to disassociate themselves from reality so that they can feel comfortable in their own skin. Because they have something wrong with their mind, they have something wrong with their heart, and there's a hole here that those things can't fill. Think about it. Why does the most successful, wealthy comedian of Babylon unalive himself? Does he not have everything that his heart desires in this world? Because it's all vanity. Because it doesn't fulfill anything. It doesn't satisfy anything, and you're left wanting. And so that's the fruit. That's the fruit. True contentment is found in the one who's able to have joy, whether they have much or little. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. They're thankful. They have rest. And their weary little bones don't go around seeking to acquire this or acquire that, because they have contentment inside. That's the key, right? You can't get that apart from being connected to Yah, the Creator. The Creator, Yah. That's what we need, guys. That's what everybody needs. Everything else that this world has to offer you is just vanity. Vanity of vanities. Right? Somewhere out here is a little brother or little sister who's searching and seeking and hungry for this truth, to have rest for their weary soul. So don't let the mocker in the chat dishearten you. We can search out the scriptures, and we can read the truths, and get understanding together. But we have to seek the Spirit of the Father, the Creator. We have to. And maybe your daddy in this world, your fleshly father, did you wrong, and so you have a bad taste in your mouth for that word. But you have to understand that there is a Father who actually cares, loves, nurtures, protects, provides, and has future plans for you. He just wants you to release your desires for all these other things and pursue Him. It says that He's jealous, but this isn't in the way that we think. It's jealous that He's saying, I want what's best for you. Come to me, I want to protect you. Come to me, I want to provide for you. Come to me, I want to give you rest. Stop seeking after all those other things. Most of the things that people pursue in this world they don't even understand are rooted in wicked spirits. Very ancient, evil entities were trapped here. And they've got to wait out their time until the judgment comes. And they already know that they will not be forgiven. They already sent Hanuk to the throne of the Most High asking for forgiveness. And Hanuk came back with a message that you will not be forgiven. You should have not sent a man to deliver your message. You were supposed to deliver my message to man. Their judgment is harsh and severe because they were once with Him in the Shemayim, in the heavens. They knew better. But they were seeking after their own will. They were rebels. They were deceived by the serpent, the dragon, Hashatan. Yep. 1/3 of the Malakim, the angels, joined him in his rebellion and followed him into what's going to be the lake of fire for them ultimately. I do not care if anyone likes me. You try to hurt me, hate me with your vain little words. It matters not. I'm fulfilling the will of my Father, and I'm come to speak about these things. I don't need anybody to like me. I'm not here for likes. Because the contentment that I'm talking about is within me. His Spirit is within me, so I don't have to seek after pleasing man. Hallelujah. The words of Khalath, son of Dawood, sovereign in Jerusalem. Futility, futility, says Chala. Futility, futility, all is futility. You've probably heard this as vanity, vanity, everything is vanity, right? In the King James. What does a man gain for all of his labors in which he toils underneath the sun? One generation passes away, another generation comes, but yet the earth is standing still. The sun rises, the sun departs, hurrying back to its place from which it rose, making its circuit day by day, going unto the south, turning around towards the north again, turning on its rounds. The wind returns. The sun is carried about by the wind around the face of the earth. They lied to you. NASA's a lie. Space is a lie. The moon landing is a joke. All the images are CGI paintings. That's it. Even the blue marble was a staged event. Baruk Yahuah for his truth. All the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea never overflows. To the place which the river comes, they then return again. All matters are wearisome. No one is able to speak of it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. Ever notice that? You always want to see something else. You always want to see something new. That's why you flick, 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 flick. Right? Listen, I want to hear something. Give me something new, some new news. Tell me something. Entertain me, amuse me. Reality's hard, I don't like it. What has been is what shall be, and what has been done is what shall be done, and there is no new matter under the sun. Block away. Block away. Abba Yahuah, rebuke and judge between us. Shalom. Ha. Is there a matter of which it is said, see, this is new? It was already long gone. There is no remembrance of former ones, nor is there any remembrance of those that are to come by those who come later. I, Chalaf, was sovereign over Yashar'Al in Jerusalem, and I set my heart to seek and search out by wisdom concerning all that has been done under the heavens. This evil task Elohim has given to the sons of Adam, to be humbled by it. I've seen all the works that are done under the sun, and see all was futile and feeding on wind. The crooked could not be straightened, and what was lacking could not be added to. So I spoke to my heart, saying, see, I have attained greatness and have gained more wisdom than all who were before me in Jerusalem. This is the son of David they call Solomon, right? He's supposed to be the wisest king. I have attained greatness and gained more wisdom than all who were before me. And my heart has seen much wisdom and knowledge. And I placed my heart to know wisdom and to know madness and its folly. I know that it is. This too is feeding on wind. For in much wisdom is much grief, and he who increases in knowledge increases in suffering. I can attest to that. I felt that. And I'm not saying I'm anywhere near his level of understanding, but there's so much lies and there's so much deceptions in this world that the more we learn and the more we come out of it, it grieves us, especially when we see others trapped in it. And we want to try to call them out, get them out, and they don't want to hear that. They don't want to receive that. Let me get some more coffee. Baruk Yahuah. Be right back. I said in my heart, come now, let me try you with rejoicing and find out what is Taub. But see, that too was vanity. I said of laughter, it is madness, and of rejoicing, what does it do? I searched my heart, how to stimulate my body with wine, with guiding my heart with wisdom, and how to lay hold upon folly until I could see that which was Taub for the sons of Adam to do under the heavens all the days of their lives. Shalom. Shalom, Aki. I made my works great. I built myself houses. I planted vineyards for myself. I made gardens and parks for myself, and I planted all kinds of fruit trees in them. I made pools of water for myself to water from them a plantation of growing trees. I brought male and female servants, and I came to have sons of the household. Also I had greater possessions, herds, flocks, than all who were before me in Jerusalem. I also gathered myself silver and gold and treasures of the sovereigns and of the provinces. I provided male and female singers for myself, and the pleasures of the flesh, a woman and many women, or many females. He's telling you he had it all. Thus I became great and increased more than all who were before me in Jerusalem. Also my wisdom remained with me, and all that my eyes desired I did not keep it from them. I did not withhold my heart any pleasure. My heart rejoiced in all my labor, and this was my portion from all my labor. But when I looked on all the works that my hands had done, on the labors of which I had toiled, see, all of this was futile, feeding on wind. There was no gain under the sun, you see. I tried it all. I had it all. I was more than any of those who came before me, yet it was nothing. See? That's what I'm talking about. You probably feel this in your own life, being in the rat race, chasing after the Benjamins. Just, oh, if I could just get this, if I could just get that, I'll finally have some rest. I'll finally have some joy in my heart. But you don't, and you won't, until you have Yah. That's it. The only thing that can fill that hole in your heart. It's not another night out at the club, partying, scoring this and that drug, drinking this and that, getting that male or that female that you've been looking at, getting a promotion, getting a new car, like none of that, right? Let him who needs to hear this, hear it. I turn myself to look at this wisdom, and also to explore madness and foolishness. For what would a man do who comes after the sovereign except what has already been done before? Then I saw that wisdom is better than foolishness, just as the light is better than the darkness. Baruk Yahuah. Shalom, Aki. Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, family. The wise one's eyes are in his head, but the fool walks in darkness. And I also knew that one event befalls them all. I said in my heart, as the event of the fool, even so it befalls me. And why was I then more wise. Then I said in my heart, this also is futile, for there is no more lasting remembrance of the wise than the fool. Since the days to come, all will be forgotten. And how does a wise man die? Same as a fool, right? And I hated life, because of the work that was done under the sun was evil. For all it is futile, chasing after the wind, vanity. And I hated all my labors which I had toiled under the sun, because I leave it then to another person. Right? I gotta leave it to someone else. Who knows whether he is a wise or a fool? Yet he shall rule over my labor in which I toiled under that which I have shown myself to be wise under the sun, and this too is futile. Even the person that I have to leave this to, how do I know whether they're wise or a fool or what? So I turned my heart and despaired on all these labors in which I had toiled under the sun, for man might labor with wisdom, knowledge, and skill, yet he could leave his heritage to another who has not worked for it. That too is futile and a great evil. For what does a man get from all of his labors and strain of his heart in which he has toiled under the sun? For all his days are suffering, and his work is grievous. Even in the night his heart takes no rest. That too is vanity. Man could do no better but to eat and to drink, listen, and enjoy himself in his labor. That too I saw was from the hand of Elohim. It's Saku right now. Right? We go out and we sleep outside. We dwell in booths and tents. This helps us to be thankful for the home that the Father has given us, to appreciate it. Right? We roast meat and we say thank you, Abba Yahuah, for this, giving him the thanks and the esteem. Right? Spend time with those who you love. Even getting out little instruments and making little songs and singing. Whether you're a gifted vocalist or what, doesn't matter. Just make a joyous sound unto the Creator, right? King Solomon, the wisest, wealthiest of all of Yashar'Al, is literally saying, all of these things that I did and toiled and acquired amounted to nothing but this one thing, to eat and to drink and to esteem Elohim, Yah, alone, who provided all these things. Baruk Yahuah. For who eats and who finds enjoyment without him? For he gives wisdom and knowledge and joy to the one who is ta'ub in his eyes. But to the foolish, to the wicked, he gives the task of gathering and collecting to give to him who is ta'ub before Elohim. That too is futile and feeding on the wind. So here's another verse that reinforces what I've been seeing in the scriptures, that a time is coming when we will drink from vineyards we didn't plant, dwell in buildings that we didn't build, that will inherit these things from the wicked. Just as it was at Exodus when Yashar'Al came out of Mitzrayim, they took all the gold and everything. They said, here, take all this stuff and leave. I didn't realize that it was in Ecclesiastes chapter 2 also. The name that you wrote there, silver cord, is actually a son of Baal. And you can look it up. The true name is Yahuah, right? So it's Y-H-U-H, Yahuah. They tried to take that away. They put a W there, they put a V there. They're very crafty. Give them that. Very, very crafty. For every matter there is an appointed time. Right? even a time for every pursuit under the heavens, a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to uproot, a time to unalive and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep, a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to throw away and a time to gather up, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to seek and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to sow, a time to be silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for battle and a time for shalom. What does the worker gain from his toil? I don't know what that is. Are you trying to say Esau? Yahweh. Oh, you're trying to write letters. So there's no E in Abrit, right? So we don't want to use any letters apart from the original 22 letters that the Father gave us. His clean tongue, the language of creation, the language of angels. We have to use the letters that are given if you want to try to render it as correctly as possible, right? So let me just take a second to won't let me comment. Like I'm pressing on you. There it goes. Silly phone. Like this. Yahuah. Yahuah. See how the whole name is like a breath? It's actually 4 vowels. The lying scribes, I think I heard somebody say that they claim that there are no vowels. This is so bizarre. They're so weird. Okay. And it's like breathing, right? Yahuah. 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 Baruk Yahuah. I've seen the task Elohim has given to the sons of Adam to be humbled by it. He has made it all beautiful in its time, even the ages He has put in their hearts, except that no one finds out the work that Elohim does from beginning to end. I know that there is no ta'ub for them, but to rejoice and to do ta'ub, which is righteousness, right, in their lives. And also that every man should eat and drink and enjoy the fruits of his labor. It is a gift from Elohim. Do you see? Okay. So, vanity of vanities, everything is vanity. All this stuff that he's described, all these possessions, working hard to build things and acquire things and amass things, having all these different wives, trying every kinds of eats and drinks and every single thing, and it was all nothing except this one thing that he found. Right? It's the contentment that Paul was talking about. Right? Whether I have much or little, to give thanks in all things to Elohim. Right? Eat and drink that which you have worked to earn and give thanks. It doesn't matter if it's filet mignon or rice, right? That's not the point. The point is your heart condition. You're praising and esteeming the giver of all gifts as you do it. Also, the time that you get to spend with your loved ones, right now, Saku. Shalom, Aki. Is it early where you guys are? It's early. Just curious. It's Shabbat Shalum, and it's also the 7th day of the Feast of Saku. So I palal that the Father's baruching you and yours, your household, with His favor and the comfort of His Ruach upon you. I know that there is no ta'ub for them, but to rejoice and to do ta'ub in their lives, and also every man shall eat and drink and enjoy the fruits of his labors, that they are a gift from Elohim. I know that whatever Elohim does is forever. There's no adding to it, and there's no taking away from it. Elohim does it, that we may fear Him, esteem Him. Whatever it is has already been, and whatever shall be has been before, but Elohim seeks out what has been pursued. Then again I saw under the sun, in the place of right ruling, wrongness was there, and in the place of righteousness, wrongness was there. Baruk Yahuah. Baruk Yahuah. You know, you see this today, right? In the place where there's supposed to be justice, there's crooked courts, right? And then in the places where there's supposed to be righteousness, maybe some of you go to church. They teach lawlessness and idolatry there, right? If you have wisdom, you'll see this. And He'll call you out of it, because it's a false way, it's a false light. So I said within my heart, Elohim judges the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time for every matter and for every work. And I said within my heart, concerning the matter of the sons of man, Elohim selects them so as to see that they set themselves are beasts, so as to see that they themselves are as beasts. Forgive me. Salakia. For the event of the sons of Adam is also the event of beasts. One event befalls them. As one dies, so dies the other. Indeed, they all have one breath. Man has no advantage over beast in this. It is all vanity. All are going to one place. All come from the dust, and to the dust they will return. Who knows the spirit of the sons of Adam, which goes upward, the spirit of the beast, which goes down to the earth? So I saw that man could do no better but to rejoice in his own labors, for that is his portion. For who would bring him to see what shall be after him? Halal Yahuah. Then I looked again at all the oppression. Are you oppressed? Do you feel the oppression? Do you see the tyrants who rule over with a boot on the throat? Do you see how they're unalived? Do you see how they're starved? Do you see how they're made sick? And see the tears of the oppressed, but yet they have none to comfort. And the power on the side of the oppressor, but they have no comforter. Therefore, I commended those who were perished, who are already past, more than the living. He's saying, wow, it was better off for the ones who have already perished than the ones who are still having to endure here. And he says, And better than both of these would be the one who's never even existed, who hadn't even had to see the evil that's worked under the sun. Is that you, my sis? This is a backup channel. If you guys are new here, there's a primary channel too. And Abba willing, I go live every Shabbat, which is today, at 3 p.m. Pacific. Because, yeah, Shalom, sis, I thought so. I start to recognize the last part of the numbers. Baruk Atah Yahuah. Better for the one who never even existed, who hasn't even had to live through the evils of this world, right? That's what Solomon is saying here. And I saw that all the toils and the skills of the work bring envy between one another. They covet one another, right? The enemy uses coveting to manipulate the lambs. That's what advertising is all about. Look at it. Turn it on. Lust of the eyes, pride of life. Gotta get this, gotta get that, gotta get this, gotta get that. What can you do with these things when you perish? Do you leave them to someone? How do you know if they're wise or foolish? You want to work hard your whole life to acquire these things, to give it to someone who's foolish and just blows it all? Listen to what he's saying. This is wisdom, right? The fool folds his hand and consumes his own flesh. Right? The poor will always be among us. The scripture says that may they not eat. If you're able to work and you do not work, this is not the will of the Father. Search your heart and see. His example is work hard for 6 days and rest on the 7th day. I was convicted by this because I was having to work 4 days. I had 4 10-hour shifts once I petitioned my taskmaster for the Shabbat off, which falls right in the middle of the pagan week, the pagan Wednesday. I never knew how I was going to end up getting the Shabbat. And the Father said, you're going to go to him and you're going to explain to him why you need it off. You're going to explain to him how you render the time. You're going to explain to them my Moedim. And I did. And it was approved. And I was like, Baruk Yahuah. Wow. But then after that, he showed me too, oh yeah, guess what? You're not working on this day and you're not working on this day, so you're not actually working 6 days. And I was like, whoa. Shalom, shalom. Thank you. Thank you. And so there it was. We got our side hustle going. We needed it anyway because of this crazy economy, because of this tyrannical beast system oppressing us down into the dirt. And my Yashar'Al wants to be home. She wants to train up our young in the way that they shall go, that they may not depart from it, right? It's not well for me to send her off to be underneath the authority of another male. That's not well. See, a lot of people don't talk about that. Yeah? We just need to obey him in every way we can, right? So there it is. The fools holding their hands, meaning idle hands, not doing work, devouring their own selves. Better it would be to have a hand filled with rest than both hands filled with toil and feeding on the wind. Then I looked again at futility under the sun. There is one without a second, who has neither son nor brother, and there is no end of all of his labors. His eyes also not satisfied with riches, and from whom am I toiling and depriving myself of ta'ub? That too is futility and evil task. Two are better than one because they have a ta'ub reward in their labor. For if they fall, one lifts up the companion. But woe to him who is alone when he falls, for he has not one to help him up. I will palal that you have a Qadash spouse, that you're able to have a Qadash marriage, the will of the Father. Primarily, right? Ultimately, is for us to cleave to our spouse and to become one flesh in Him. This is the threefold cord, right? Yah, husband, and a Shah, all one, like a braid. Like I love it when my Shah braids my hair, right? Braided together, like now becoming like one, strong, unbreakable. So even if you're in the way and you guard His commandments and you love Yahusha, but you do not have a Qadash spouse, then I will palal that your spouse be given newness of life, be born again, or that the Father gives you a son or a daughter, that you may be able to fulfill this commandment and be fruitful and multiply. You know, that goes way back. That's not done away with. You know, I don't know what it is with this idea. Oh, you just have one or two, whatever. I don't know. It's interesting, right? Forgive me, my mustache is like so long it gets in everything I eat and drink. I haven't cut it since the first seal was opened. I never knew why that was happening, but it's the Father working. Alright. Also, if two lie down together, they can keep warm, but how does one keep warm alone? Although one might be overpowered, two can withstand. And a threefold cord is not easily broken. I didn't really realize that verse was coming up next. It just reminded me of it. So, am I allowed to trim it? Probably. I'm probably allowed to. I was gonna say Aki, but I'm sorry, I don't really know by your name. If you are male or female. But yeah, I think you are. But may each person, you know, go to the Father and work that out, like on their own. It's not something that I'm doing like in a religious way or by the letter of the law or something like that. It's something that I feel in my root that the Father's leading me to do. And sometimes Maya Shah, she's like, oh, let me just take a little bit of the split ends off. And I'm like, I want to let her because she wants to, but then part of me's like, no, I don't want. So it's just a thing, man. I don't know. It's just a thing. Look at this crazy beard. It's crazy. Also, if a man can't grow a beard, what should he do to grow? His genetics isn't strong like that. Well, I think that I'm kind of an example of one who wouldn't, because like I don't have, like, I'm not like a hairy male. I don't have hair all on my chest. I probably have some, I don't believe in going to these Ancestry and Me or 23andMe, whatever. I don't trust any of that stuff. They got a horse. They tested a horse and they said it was a Mexican. It's crazy. No thanks. I'm not giving them my stuff anyways. You know what I mean? Anyway, I got distracted. Sorry. You wouldn't think that I would. Just let the Father do as He wills. Just let the Father do as He wills. That's it. You know what I'm saying? If it starts seeming like it's coming in and it's like all patchy here and there, and you're like, I want to cut it off because I don't like how it looks, then it's part of the testing, I guess. You know, it's for each person. It's not a commandment. Let her or your wife. Right. Shalom, Kimberly. What are you saying? Let her. It's my honor. You're very welcome. I hope that my answer helps you, but seek the Father in all these things. Please, please, please. Don't just listen to what I say, you know, because what I'm telling you to do is to go to Him. You know, Baruk Yahuah. I'm expecting things to pop off like crazy, you guys. I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. I've been saying this stuff for a while, so anyone who's been listening to me for a minute knows. I've already said the first seal, the second seal, and the third seal are open, and all the pieces are in place. That the enemy has his hand on the throat and is just now ready to squeeze. I believe that the fourth seal was just opened, and you can see they're all ready to jump in. Okay? And it's not just the red horse, remember. There's also the black horse and there's also the white horse. You feel it too, sis? Yeah, we feel it, right? We know. I bought natural stuff to appear as the Torah would recommend. Yes, my husband has been trying to grow his beard for 2 years. Okay, so you are a sister. Okay, Akati, see? That's why I was like, don't say Aki, because you don't know. Little growth, so will be Palal, and ask him to also. Yeah. All esteem to Yah. You know what I mean? Who gives the growth? Right? The principle's true in every aspect of creation. Just go outside and observe nature and see. Everything flourishes in Him. And yet you can look what Adam has done to cause things to not be well. Polluted waters and polluted air and whatever. Removing of all the woodlands and so much. So Aki, fake Israel bombing, dock strike, and disastrous South coincidence. No, brother, no coincidence. No coincidence. Thank you for writing all that in there. See, these are the things. Yes. Coordinated, orchestrated, spiritual. Yeah. So much is happening now that I can't talk about it all because it's so much. And I want to make a video that shows how they actually have used powerful deceptions to fuel the narrative that most people accept, and they're ready to say that it's justified to bring the sword. And I got like smoking gun evidence and put up a TikTok video in November of 2023 that's about the they call it a supernova music event. It's just sad to me, you guys, how many people don't look and listen, and even if they do look, they can't see, and even if they are listening, they can't hear. This is how it is. It's the will of the Father. So we just have to keep on speaking and warning and instructing, and you know, the Father will make sure that those who are meant to hear it, hear it. It's very late, and you know, you can ask Maya Shah. I probably sound like a broken record because I've been thinking, like, ever since the day after that happened, I had this like dream or like vision. I was half in and out of sleep, whatever, and I was seeing tank tracks. They're like rolling over the skulls, kind of like a scene from a Terminator movie in the 80s, right? And I was like, honey, they're gonna go in, they're gonna just roll right over that place, they're gonna all these people. And every single day since then, I've been thinking, today's gonna be the day, today's gonna be the day, and it hasn't been. But it's like a pressure cooker where the pressure still keeps increasing. Like, sooner or later this thing is gonna blow, but it just keeps building pressure, and it's like, I can't even understand how it continues to do it, but it does. just continues to do it. Everything, even going back to the Jade Helm days, when I was aware of that and watching all that, and I wasn't in the name. I was Exgen then. I was in the lawless idolatry of Exgianity. All that stuff has been put in place too for the same purpose, the same ends, because you have to understand that the kingdom of darkness has a hierarchy, and it receives its instructions from an ancient, I'm just going to call it knowledge, because it's not wisdom. Wisdom is walking in righteousness and obedience. That's what wisdom is. Wisdom is one of the attributes of the Ruach of Yahuah, the sevenfold Ruach of Yahuah, right? 7 meaning fullness. Kind of just like Aleph and Tau means the fullness or the complete measure of a thing. So they give instructions down through their generals, through their commanders. There's even these 10 sovereigns in what they call Hell, right? Crowns, authority, dominions, principalities, rulers of the darkness of the age. You have to understand these things. Psalm 2 I've been loving so much, because it talks about how the sovereigns of the earth conspire together to make war with Yah and his anointed Hamashiach. The wearing out of the Qadashayam, the wearing out. What is that like? How does that work? We're being pressed, stretched, right, in every way, but we're not actually broken. We're not actually destroyed. We're just, and the Father's using it all to refine us, to sharpen us, to quicken us. Yeah, we speak about things, and our siblings go, "Aman, me too. That's right. Father showed me the same thing." Right? The enemy can't do anything about that, because that's the spirit. That's the work of his Ruach. And nothing can stay his hand, right? So, oh, you love Psalm 1 and Galatians 6. Yeah? Are you following the other account, the Qadashayam of Yasharal primary account? If you're not, please do. And also, there's a link to the YouTube channel that you probably will enjoy. You can just go to the bio and click the YouTube. That's for everybody, by the way. What do you think about them saying JESUS already came back? Well, thank you for your question. I don't think you probably know me too well if you're asking me about JESUS. So I'll just say in love, the letter J is only about 500 years old. SUS is a reference to Zeus. That name actually means Hail Zeus. That's not the name of the true Messiah. That's not the name of the Word made flesh who dwelt among us. That's Yahusha, right? Yahusha. And his name is a combination of Yah and the prophet that they call Hosea. Is actually, the letters are Husha. Yah and Husha means Yah, or I am, right? Deliverer. I am your deliverer. I know about the short season, I don't agree with that. He has not come back, because the 144,000 would be ruling upon the face of the earth if that were so, right? And there would be a restoration of the Shalom in the land, Jerusalem, right? When he returns, the new Jerusalem descend down. This place is completely fallen, broken. It's not redeemed. Would you agree that the programming is really an acceptance contract? Yeah. Like, I would say this, Aki, I would say that everyone is sealed in their forehand and their right hand, right? I think that we're born in the chata, the trespasses, the sin, worldliness. When we're born again, that's transformed That part's transformed. The renewed mind and the works of Yah. And so most people, like if you say the mark is a physical manifestation, like the snake bite, then the person who received it was already marked. They're spiritually marked already. They've already made their choice already. Baruk Yahuah. In 70 AD. Yeah. Oh, that information freaked you out? Okay, I can understand that. But you know, so some things were fulfilled in 70 AD. We have to understand how prophecy works. Prophecy is it has you know, past, present, and future truths in it. The fulfillment of the prophecy of Chazun is not fulfilled, right? But somebody might see evidence of a physical manifestation of that prophecy being fulfilled, and they might say, "Oh, it's fulfilled," but that's because they don't have understanding in the Ruach. Oh, yeah, you got the calendar, Baruk Yahuah. So, yeah, joyful Saku to you and your family. Hallelujah. You do believe it's the little season? All right. Well, I'm not going to get upset about it. One of the things too is the old world buildings, right? So the old world buildings were built by who? And when? Right? So it's one of the theories people use for the old season, or the little season, I'm sorry, to say that, you know, somehow it was built by these righteous peoples or something. But I actually think that they're built by Nafal. I think that they're actually pre-flood structures. I could be wrong though. You know? I could be wrong. But what I also see is that there's, it's freezing? Hang on, let me check my maybe try to leave and come back. Is anybody else having connection issues? Oh, yours is freezing too? Oh, yours is not freezing. If it's freezing, try to leave and come back. So these ancient structures that they've turned a lot of them into just like U.S. Capitol buildings and all this stuff. And they have evil carvings and stuff into them. So it's no way that you can convince me that the righteous built those structures, right? Just because of that simple thing. Thank you, Della. It's fine for me. Yeah, we got a new extender, and it seems to have made a very great difference, so we're thankful for that. The other one we had was like 4 years old, and it kept dropping the connection on us all the time. Sorry, also Aki, did I finish answering what you were asking me? I get sidetracked a lot. That is why that civilization fell. Yeah, right? Because of the flood. Now, see, that's the thing. I think the old world buildings and the mud flood reset thing are actually connected and totally make sense to me scripturally. The mass deluge is what caused the shifting of the earth and the fossils to be in tops of mountains, and all that is why that they see these the soil, the mud up, I believe, above certain ancient structures, because they're way more ancient than they tell us. They have to come up with some kind of explanation for these things, and they suck at it. They suck at it horribly. Like, if you go to this channel, and I don't usually recommend stuff by people who are not in the way, so please use discernment and exercise great caution when you go there. But on the YouTube channel, it's called On My Lunch Break, and he goes through a lot of the old world buildings and what's written about them online, the narratives, the stories, how they say when it was built and whatever, and he finds patterns and trends that they all seem to have these fires. It's a pattern that's always there, these fires, and they rebuilt it, and they built these amazing structures. It'll say like in 2 years, with back in a time before power tools, when they had like horses and buggies. It's ridiculous. It's so crazy. Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, family. Do you believe America is a scriptural land? I have a lot of things that I don't know about America right now, that I'm still seeking understanding on. I don't believe that it's Mitzrayim, like some people say, because of the caves of Qumran. The caves of Qumran are like a landmark that shows that there were Qadash priests there that preserved writings there. So that's one reason. But I think that the history of this land is actually more evil than that. Because if we go back to our understanding of the Tower of Babel, they hollowed it, Hollywooded it. Yeah, Hollywood is a reference to the to witchcraft, you know, to the wand and all this, right? But what I was going to say is that because of the practices and the things that they were worshiping foreign mighty ones. At the Tower of Babel, these Nephal were scattered. I should say the spirits, right? Because the spirits still dwell. At the time of the deluge and the time of the flood, many of the titans were destroyed. Plus, we read in Chanukh that the fathers of the titans had to watch them war with each other and destroy each other, and they had to watch that. Well, they became disembodied spirits after that because they were half Malakim and half Adam. So they went and received worship everywhere they went. And they were scattered and the languages were confused. Okay? So all these little all these little false religious practices and ceremonies and different things that are not the Torah, they're not the Qadash, they're not the way, are inspired by these spirits who received worship. Yeah. Under spells and things, yeah. Tower in Quebec, map quested. Tower in Quebec, okay. Tower in Quebec. It looks like there's actually several, so I'm not sure which one you mean. Is it probably an ancient one? Is it called Peculari Tower? That looks kind of rebuilt. No, okay, that's not it. Yeah, I'll have to look at that sometime, Aki. I don't see anything right now. Mount something, yeah, I don't know, bro. I need to get more coffee. And I need to make a pot of coffee too, because when my Yashar'Al gets up, she's gonna want some. I'm gonna take you guys with me. Let's go over here. I'm very surprised. It popped up and asked me if I wanted to end the live. I'm like, no. What the what? Let me see if I can find a place to set this. You guys like my shirt? I just got it. No, I got it like last week. Whatever. Yad He Uah He. Name above all names, Baruk Yahuah. So, I've been feeling in my roux, and I was telling my Shah this for a while, that I think that they're gonna, because the stage is set, because all the pieces are in place, that they're going to give the go. I actually feel that it's going to happen when the hand of the restrainer is removed. I believe the hand of the restrainer is very clear and evident to us in Scripture. His mighty right hand. Okay? To me, this is like simple stuff, because I guess it's because of how he reveals it. And then it's like, you know that you know that you know. A lot of people would say, oh, it's the Archangel Michael, but his name is Mika'al, and it means who is like all. Well, none is like all. None is like Yah but Yah himself. You know what I'm saying? So, when the hand of the restrainer is removed, then this physical manifestation of Hashatan on the face of the earth will be revealed. And everyone's going to know if it's Trump, or if it's Obama, or if it's, Prince Edward, or who it is. I don't know what other theories people have. I feel like I've heard all the theories. Didn't even change the name. Oh, okay, so you think the Tower of Babel was in Quebec? All right, bro. I want to try to have everybody be really careful, because what I've been seeing. Let me finish this hand of the restrainer thing really quick first. The hand of the restrainer. Once the hand of the restrainer is removed, then the son of perdition, the lawless one, the physical manifestation of Hashatan, the capstone of their wicked pyramid, will be complete, and everyone will know, and they're going to go hunting us. They're going to hunt us down. That's it. That's right. And so everything that they put in place will be executed at that time, with the seals. Okay? And those seals, those same things, pestilence, famine, and war, are mentioned in several times in Scripture already. I'm going to tell you guys something. I think that the enemy is crafting another thing. And it has to do with a race war, okay? It has to do with a race war. You'll notice that there's been this movement to say, because when they put all the images of white people in all this, in all the scriptures and all, the Father was very clear for us to not have any of this. There should have never been no white JESUS's and no HELE or HELLY wood movies, Hollywood, right? They did all that stuff. The Father wanted to protect us from these things. You start to see how all of His commandments are in place, work to protect us even in the last days, right? Okay, so the idea to create a war between, what they call races, which is also just false. But I'm saying it for understanding, because people understand that. So yeah, they've been trying to create that, and they're going to try and perpetuate it, and they're going to push it, right? So part of the thing is that you have groups of people that are waking up to this idea that they are the true Israel, which is not anything that we consider Qadash, right? But it's a powerful movement. You see a lot of people doing that. And some of them have the same symbols as the ones who are in the land who say they're Yashar'Al and do lie. Because it's the same spirit that's at work. It's a spirit of dominance. Like, I'm over you. I'm the people, you're not. You're going to bow down and kiss my feet. That's what they teach. That's what they believe. Combine that with, now they're saying that the American Indians are not the real people of this land, the original indigenous peoples of this land. That they came from, darn it starts with a P, I forgot what it is now. It's not Persia. Yeah, the true war is between the wise and the foolish. I agree. Yep, Siberia, right. So these people are like, hey, We went and my wife went and took a cotton swab of the horse. I have a video up on one of these channels trying to warn people about this deception. They send off the horse's DNA. Several months later, comes back and says, "Oh, basically, it's Mexican, right? It has Eastern European and Latin American. You know, it's a horse." Okay, just like when they used to have. Remember in 2020 when we had the crown, right? You guys know the Latin word. Hopefully, people were testing fruits, and it was coming back saying, "Yep, got it." Okay? I don't trust these people for nothing. Okay? These powers, these principalities, these rulers, all this. Don't trust them. But a lot of people do. And so they'll send their thing off, and it might say, how... Okay. Forensic DNA can match me to something, a droplet that it finds right here. Okay? That I can understand. But how are you going to tell me who my father's 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 father was and what land we came from? How you get? That's kind of crazy. Think about it for a second. They make claims to be able to do things that they can't do. Right? Just like they say that this place is a ball and that there's layers and this is the temperature and all. They don't know any of that crap. They don't. They've never even been able to go beyond the 8th mile. In fact, my family lineage is Aniuya, Cherokee, Mississippi Mound Culture Indian. I don't doubt it. I don't know that. I never said you are. I know you didn't say that I did, but yeah, I don't have a problem with that. My problem is that they want to take the identity of one people and say it belongs to another people so that those people will be in conflict with each other. So be wise, be warned that their information is not reliable. Their genealogies, we weren't even supposed to waste our time in endless genealogies that cause much division and strife. You know what I'm saying? And also their history. The true history is Yah's story. The history in the library is Hashatan's twisting of the truth, right? I believe that many of the American Indians are descendants of the 12, absolutely. Because I say that our siblings, the seed, is scattered all over the face of creation. Every nation, tribe, and tongue, it's mixed in. That's what it is to be lost. Right? If you took a needle and put it in a haystack, and then you're trying to find it, it's not there. But it's right there in front of your face the whole time. But you can't just... The needle, you can look at it and tell. But I'm saying, us, our seed, you can't just look... You can't look at me and say I am or am not a descendant of Yashar'Al. But some teach that you can. Wrong. Falsely, I should say. Right? I don't agree with that. We're known by our fruits. By our love for Yahusha, by our faithfulness, by our obedience, by our trust, amunah, right? So, see it. See the writing that's there. When the Pope gets down and kisses the feet of a Moor or something, it's calms to them. It's communication says, okay, we're starting this part of our plan. And there's a brother that I follow on here who's American Indian, and he's always having like debate and stuff with melanated brothers about they're trying to steal his heritage and his identity of his people, of his land, everything, right? It's not enough for them to say, I am Chickasaw, and I am Cherokee, and I am Navajo. No, they're saying, but you're not. You're not. That's the right. And don't they do the same thing when they say, I am Israel and you're not? It's the same thing. And where's it originating from? Like, how's it being fueled? And why? Why? The agenda is what? Divide and conquer, right? And so you notice how they're unfolding. We were just talking about how they're unfolding everything at the same time. Now they're doing this at the same time. I'll bet you some of the leaders of those teachings have been trained up to spread the deception. And they're propped up. Like, their platforms have a lot of viewers and a lot of followers and all that. I don't trust any accounts that are large because of that. Because I know that they silence the truth teller. They seek to silence the truth teller, and they prop up the deceiver. That's what they do. Anyway, so just be careful. Like, keep an eye out, Aki, and let me know. Let's stay in communication about that, because I think they're trying to take this group of people and give them this understanding so that they clash. And they're not going to do, it's not just going to be American Indians and what they used to call African Americans, right? Genesis 10, verse 5, tell you an Ashkenazi is no Hebrew, but I am. Yeah, so can I encourage you or ask you to just go do an etymology? Just type out etymology and Hebrew and look it up, and you're going to see something that I think is very powerful about what I'm warning. Because that word, it's only a couple hundred years old, and it's Latin. It comes from Latin, which is a demonic tongue that was given backwards to a soothsayer of the Queen of England. Now, we don't have queens in Yashar'Al. We have kings. Kings and priests. So don't get it twisted when the enemy tries to say, oh, this sovereign is a queen. Oh, and you're going to worship this goddess, right? It's everything in rebellion to Yah. Yeah? So I will never refer to myself as that, nor the clean tongue as that, because the Latin kings don't get to name me or the tongue of creation. It's already written in the scriptures what it is. And the first letters are just like Abraham. It's Abrim. Abrim. And the language is Abrit. So I try to tell people, don't call yourself that. Don't call the tongue that. Don't be proud of that, because they laugh at you. Those Latin kings laugh at you when you say, I'm Hebrew. That's their name for you. That's their language. We're Abrim. Yeah? And it means crossed over people. The word that you wrote right there, A-B-R-Y-M, yes, Khan. Oh, wait, forgive you for what, Aki? I'm misunderstanding you, sorry. I am Saracen. Saracen. I am a Saracen. So do you know that word that you wrote right there, Ashkenazi, is the son of Japheth, who was given the land to the north where it's cold? And that those people who are in the land who say that they're Yashar'Al and do lie actually admit that they're Ashkenaz. So they admit that they're not Sham, but they accuse people of being against Sham when they are actually the ones who are against Sham. Yeah, in my Ruach, when I see words like J-E-S-U-S, L-O-R-D, G-O-D, B-L-E-S-S, when I see these words, the Father has given me like a strong disdain for them. And that one is the same. It's the same. So every there is both side. So every there is in both sides is on. I don't understand what you mean, Aki. What are you talking about? So every unaliving there in both sides is on. Because that's the other word, right? People are like, I'm the true, that word. Hi, honey. Joyful dawning. That's my beautiful wife. I'm gonna spend some time with her. Shabbat Shalom, family. Joyful Saku, 7th day. Remember, we are commanded to make an offering by fire every day of the feast. So who told you that kindling a fire was work? Go look at my video, Kindle a Fire, on YouTube, and you're going to see there's at least 5 different Abrit words that they turned into the one English curse, kindle. You're welcome. You're welcome. Ahaba and Barukah family. Alright? And Abba willing, we'll be back on the primary channel at 3 p.m. Pacific. I'm still torn. I want to know what you think. Should we continue looking at Chanuk? Or should we talk about the times? And we also have another message, a warning about some who have placed themselves in positions to be teachers of truth but walk in rebellion and disobedience. So we have to warn. We have to publicly warn the family. May you be teachable, correctable. May the Father give you His light, His truth. May you walk in obedience to Him in all things. Praise and esteem the Most High. Yah. Shalom, family. By the power and will of Yahuah, Yahusha, the Messiah, the Savior, the one who we love Him because He first loved us, right? Because while we were yet enemies at enmity with the Most High, He humbled Himself, He took on flesh, He took on the role of a servant, He lived a perfect, righteous, or Qadash life. He willingly laid His life down, no one took it from Him. He bore our iniquities on His body. He was crucified on a stake. He was in the tomb 3 days and He rose again, right? In power, in sovereignty, in majesty, in all esteem. All esteem, Yahusha. Yahusha comes in the name of the Father, Yahuah. Baruk is He who comes in the name of the Most High, Adonai, Yahuah. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. You'll also find the email in the description of all YouTube videos. So send us a message, a praise report, a prayer request. Much love. Shalom.